Hello, fellow megatennists, and welcome to the Hello, fellow megatennists podcast. I'm Larrue, and with me is Glib. Okay, Spider.
Hey.
And Neb.
Hello.
Before we get started, this is a Spoilercast, so if you don't want spoilers for another Bible, a game that basically no one in the world has played, then don't watch this. But if you want to know which people on this podcast I think are Berserk characters and which Berserk character they are, then you should stay and listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, if you've been too busy for 25 years, then please leave.
It helps
For another 25 years.
So, like I said, this is going to be a spoiler cast for another Bible. I actually put some interesting things that I thought were worthy of note. It was released March 3rd, 1995, and the day after, they released Last Bible 3.
Were they at least on different platforms? That's such a weird decision.
It's because they're made by two different companies. So one thing that I learned is that Another Bible isn't made by Multimedia Transfer, which is what made like all the other like Last Bible games, most of the Devil Children, I think all of the Devil Children games, and then the Majin Tensei games. So those are all made by Multimedia Transfer, Intelligence Transfer. This one was made by DICE. I don't know who they are, but
It sounds familiar.
That's the company that does Battlefield.
No, it's not that DICE. I looked it up because I was like, DICE, but it's some Japanese guy. They're pretty famous because the main creator of DICE is like interviewed a lot and has a lot of photos of himself, like all over the internet. So this game was released on the Game Boy, and Last Bible 3 was released on the Super Nintendo, or Super Famicom, I guess. But what makes it different is that this game is a lot uglier, and the art is, well, I think I put it down here. The art's by Chiaki Ogishima, who's the artist who did the manga adaptation of Tokyo Revelation, which is that weird readaptation of SMT1, kind of. She did some other things too, but I thought that was the weirdest thing that she did. She also did something called Heat Guy J, which I think is famous, but I don't know.
I think the weirdest thing she did was the character portraits for some of the female characters. What the fuck was that?
They look very emaciated.
Yeah, it looks like someone is parodying like Sailor Moon or something. Like they're making fun of it.
Zombie Sailor Moon.
Yeah, or like it's like a really, really even worse version of that How to Draw Manga that was in like the library at the school in like 2002. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The little spear user, Freyon, looks exactly like that.
Yeah. Her giant eyes. God, I hate her. I hate the MC or heroine. And I hate that clown girl, the secret character you get. Is she a clown?
I think she's a magician, but she might
supposed to be a
clown.
magician, yeah.
Ability is to cry. It's like, I hate this character. All right. Well, I guess we can keep talking about the art a little bit because there's not much to it. It's the original Game Boy, so there's no color, right? There's just like a green sort of, like it was rendered in black and white for me because I emulated it.
The mobile version has color.
Okay.
Yeah, the mobile version looks better in general, but it's still that art style. So
it's kind of funny how angry the main character looks at all times.
Yeah,
angry.
He's got like the heated like serious, ready to fight, but not mean. That kind of anger. You know
he has the hero anger. It's not like real anger.
Yeah.
I like how the waterways look like lava.
I thought that was lava. Yeah, in the volcano section, I was like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
The tiles look like they were going to kill me.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things about the game, but if you look at this mobile game art, it's just, well, I mean, I don't know why I'm talking about it if we're not going to show it. Or maybe we won't show it.
It's like bootleg FF1 remake art.
Picture.
They can Google it.
Yeah, it looks significantly better because that's the first village, and then that's the first. After you recruited the guy and the girl, you go there and you have to recruit the unicorns if you're smart.
Yeah. This looks like a real video game now.
Yeah.
I recruited unicorn and that thing sucks.
Yeah, I only recruited it because I was like, I don't remember if it's useful, and yeah, it's garbage. It's the worst. But I don't know. So I guess we're all pretty on board with the art being unusual. The music is made by Manami Matsume. I don't know. She did the old Mega Man art or music, and she also did Mighty Number Nine's music, which Mighty Number Nine is like the quintessential Mega Man. If you ever wanted to know what Mega Man was like distilled without the shackles of whoever like owned Mega Man's license.
Is this irony? I think that game was a disaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, really
blowing everyone's cover. Okay, yeah.
Like an anime fan on prom night.
I don't really remember any of the tracks, to be honest. They're kind of just faded into the background.
The one not battle theme, but like the one map, like over when you're just walking around. That theme is pretty good. The someone died theme is really annoying.
I can't remember it.
So
I can't because I recruited that stupid like pit angel guy, and he had 8 health or something. So he'd just get like hit with AOE and die every now.
Oh, the guy with the rose in his mouth.
I think so. His weapon. So everyone has like a weapon, and it's like giant axe and sword. And his is just karate. So
Karate? That's a weapon?
I guess so. I don't know.
Karate's pretty dangerous.
I didn't know you could unequip a karate.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the things I wanted to talk about first was the gameplay. I actually put some keywords that I felt while playing it. I put slow, repetitive, requiring almost nothing, which what I meant by that is like you don't have to think at all. It's just very basic. And then you just focus on maxing out like the one stat like that you know is going to be the valuable stat. For me, I just gave everyone strength or magic.
Yeah.
That's what I did too.
I mean, the thing with the game is like theoretically it could require thought. In some of the later levels, there's a lot of enemies, so if you roll up into them, you might die. But like with the rate at which you gather EXP and levels and stats, it's pretty much trivial. Like if you've had a guy that you've had since the beginning and you've been feeding him a ton of EXP, he can just waltz into 5 or 6 guys and be fine.
Yeah, and one of the best characters you get so early on. Alta is really, really good. If you don't use Alta, you're probably not good at playing video games because I think it's inherently obvious that you're supposed to use him forever.
I think it's a her, isn't she a lady?
What is it?
It's
Yeah, I think it's a guy.
Yeah, because it's just a very effeminate looking guy. But that's like all the art. I think it's either hyper masculine or like emaciated woman.
Yeah. I guess we should say for anyone who doesn't know, if you haven't played the game or whatever, the gameplay is basically Fire Emblem. It's you move a guy around, you do an attack, and then you watch a little animation play out.
And that animation takes forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
imagine if the Fire Emblem was even worse shonen anime. That's what this game is.
I don't know. the old Fire Emblem games I played are boring, so this one was like a step up for that. The only thing I could compare it to is Majin Tensei because Majin Tensei is the same thing as Fire Emblem but more fun. And one thing I noticed is that like watching the enemies do their animations is super annoying. So by the end of the game, or not even the end, I think by the 3rd or 4th dungeon, I was already doing like 4 times speed, and I never stopped. So I don't even remember what the story is for this game. Besides that, you have to like.
Yeah, we'll get to the story, which is really good later. But I did want to point out, with the enemies. So you were talking about it being slow. So it's not even when they take their turn. The game like manually checks each character to see if it's ready. And it'll zoom slowly across the entire map and then like put the cursor on the guy and be like, oh, he's not going to do anything. Let's go to the exact opposite side of the map again. Oh, he's not going to do anything. It does that like for every person. On some maps, there's like 15 enemies. So
yeah.
You cannot play this game honestly. You have to have a speed up thing.
Yes.
You're wasting so much of your time. Probably the majority of your time playing is just spent watching that shit if you're not speeding it up.
The one that I remember it happening the most in was that ice, like before you get to the tower. That one was like forever. It took forever. I don't know.
I didn't speed it up, so yeah, it took forever to get through certain levels. you can clear out all the enemies if you have like Quetzalcoatl or something, and you just sit there trying to get to the end of the map, just slowly moving. It's such a pain.
They designed these big empty rooms, and it's like it'd be one thing if they were filled with monsters or enemies or whatever. But another significant portion of the gameplay is just walking, not everyone, just your hero unit sometimes, to the objective. Because the objective that moves you on the next level or map or whatever can only be activated by the hero. And not the female hero either, just the main hero guy. So if this staircase is the end of the level and not a regular staircase that anyone can use, you had better have that guy there. You're going to spend 15 more turns moving him all the way over there.
Yeah. I think another thing to note is that in the gameplay, there's hidden characters that you can recruit if, like, you do whatever. If you go to the hidden part of the map, which is also another thing, because while you're playing the game, you can check areas above you, below you, to your left or to your right, and you can do that indefinitely until you've checked all 4. But if you do it, sometimes you'll find items. Most of the time, it's garbage items that you don't really need, and then sometimes you'll find hidden areas that you can explore. And within those hidden areas, there's usually a lot of treasure, and the treasure is usually pretty good. But I don't know how much fun that was for you guys, but the first couple of maps, I think I went up to, I think the 3rd or 4th, I was like checking everywhere because I couldn't remember where the places were. But by the end of the 4th one, I just stopped checking, and I was like, whatever, if I don't get these characters, then I don't get them.
Yep.
You don't need all of the characters, honestly. It's not like they contribute much.
Yeah,
they just slow you down, honestly.
But there's this thing at the end when you beat the game where it shows like a bunch of like screenshots and it has a bunch of dialogue underneath, or not dialogue, like story, I guess, for each character. I wasn't sure if it only shows it for the characters you unlocked, which I think is what it does. But I was trying to see if I can see what happens to all the characters, but then I didn't know that part wasn't translated, so it's just Japanese at the end.
That's funny.
Oh yeah, speaking of the translation, I noticed some of the words cut off so you couldn't read them.
That sucks. I wouldn't know because it was like I just played it fast because
Yeah, I got 2 of the secrets, and just because it was really obvious, I was like, oh, I'm walking past this is probably a secret. So that's where I got the clown girl who's like a magician or whatever, and then I got the Sphinx secret at the end. But most of the time I was like, yeah, I could go check these spots, but they're just too far away and I don't feel like it. It's going to take too much of my time to actually go do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the clown girl you're talking about is the volcano clown girl, correct?
Yeah.
So her name is like Spica or Spica.
Yes, something like that.
She's useless, but she has like really high speed.
She comes with like really high speed and stuff, which is kind of cool, but it doesn't really do anything. But Fireball has like a really high base like damage value, so it's okay. But I hate her and I hope she dies.
You should have left her in the volcano.
Yes.
Yeah,
I realize that now.
Because I know her thing is that she's lost or something, or she's a little girl, or I don't know. So that's funny to me because I like to imagine that she was left there to die.
Yeah, her parents lost a little girl in the volcano.
They just dumped her in there. Speaking for making all that noise.
You get for fake crying so much.
Yeah.
That's another thing is that all the characters have, or most of them have their own unique skill, and most of the time they're nothing that you need, except the protagonist who has Shining Blade, which ignores enemy defense, and that's super good.
And Putia's the heroine. Hers is good too, because you can recruit anything.
Wait, what did you call her? I named mine Glib. So.
Oh, the site says her name is Putia, I think.
Let me look at the Japanese wiki.
So wait, did he have Shining Blade since the beginning of the game?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, I never did that until the final boss. I thought, because someone mentioned Shining Blade in the last village, and I was like, oh, maybe like it had a cutscene where it said you get all this energy or whatever. And I was like, I guess I have a technique now because I'd never checked. So I thought that was just like a special thing.
The heroine gets hers at level 2.
Oh, and as a technique, I didn't check her techniques ever. Yeah, I just thought she had magic. Okay, well, yeah. In case anyone hasn't noticed, I did not recruit a single creature all game.
I did. Did you, who else did? It was just me and you, Spider?
I did too, but not a lot.
Yeah, I guess just us then. Huh.
I tried it first and they all died.
Well, that's because she's. Well, never mind. Point is, there's I forgot the race, but the one that Quetz is in is like the race where and every single one of those, I think there's like 3 or 4. They're all really, really good for anything you do in the game. So the purpose is to try to get Quetz as quick as possible.
So recruit a Wyvern.
Yeah. So they are part of the Wyvern race then.
Yeah.
There was also like a weird thing where you can recruit machines and then you can fuse the machines with some of the beasts. I did that with this one to make Godot. I think it's random. I don't think that you can choose, or I don't think there's a way to like guarantee which one you get. But I got one called Godot, and it was like really good.
Oh.
Guido, I don't know.
Dora.
And Loki evolves into Lucifer. That's a good one to pick too.
Yeah. Definitely breaks the game in a way, but in a good way because it makes it faster. It just means you have to walk a lot to get to the map or the end of the map each time.
One of the things I didn't like is that the sprite doesn't change when they evolve.
Oh yeah, it's like super limited.
Yeah.
That in the art section, they get pretty lazy with that. Like I actually lost someone one time because the same sprite is used, or same model or whatever is used for Alb or whatever, who's like a level 1 healer. She has like 8 HP or something. She can't hurt anyone. But in later levels, it's the same one as Troll, who's like higher level and can actually do some damage. So I like walked someone past that guy and I was like, oh, it's just like that little healer girl. And he got the shit slapped out of him. So I started shooting that a lot more.
You can tell by their portraits, but you have to mouse over it, and when you're approaching it, you can't always do that. So it's
yeah, you have to move the cursor like 50 fucking spaces and be like, oh, this is Pazuzu. This isn't this other guy.
Yeah. I think that's like one of the parts that were, in general, the whole graphics in general were one of the weakest points of the game for me, because I could excuse the bland story and stuff. Some of the character, like the hidden mechanic stuff, is interesting enough, but not like something to keep me playing long term. But the ugliness it's like just it's so bad. I don't like the reusing assets. Couldn't hear the music because I had to play it super fast because the game is so slow.
Another thing I didn't like, I couldn't fly over rocks, but I could fly over mountains. Why?
Yeah, they had some weird rules, especially with like how spells work. Because spells you can shoot through solid walls because it doesn't count walls as like continuous. Like if there was a line of rocks in front of you, you could conceivably find a space between them. But if there's a wall inside a building, it makes no sense to throw a fireball directly through it, like 3 spaces away. They should have more rules checking for that. But guess what? They didn't.
Did you guys notice that Rags is the shopkeeper?
Yep.
Yeah, that was one of the cool points.
I was like, the fact that made me happier than most of the game. It's kind of sad.
The best part of the game. So it's probably the best part of the game.
Yeah, I was just like, hey, that's Rags. But aside from that, I don't know. It was like just one of the little notes I put is Rags is a cameo as a shopkeeper.
He even sells you jewels.
Yeah. Before
we leave gameplay, let's give our opinions. Who is the best character that you had? Could be a monster you recruited or some dude you found.
Alta.
Main character. Yeah, Alta.
Altar, the
Not
main
Alta.
character, yeah, for
Alta's
sure.
My guy was Strauss for a long time. Alta sort of overtook him a little bit in the end, but Strauss is a baller.
Lucifer also was super OP. Lucifer, well, actually, I would say Quetz, just because the amount of traversal you can have by having a flying thing is super useful. So Quetz probably just by sheer being strong, being able to travel far and stuff, and fly over some things.
It really helps you get through the early stuff quicker.
Yeah.
For a long time, the one tank you got at the beginning was really good, but then he just was too slow, so I stopped using him.
Oh, Wild, yeah.
I don't like Wild at all.
Well, if you get him mobile, he's all right.
Even just his character, he's supposed to be the girl's bodyguard, I guess, but he's like a caveman for some reason, like a really slow moving caveman.
Yeah, it's a good bodyguard to have. You can block the whole doorway, just his massive frame.
Is that a Game of Thrones reference? Block door?
I don't know what that could possibly mean.
But yeah, I don't know. In terms of beasts, or because they don't call them demons in this game, they call them like monsters or something. So
yeah, beasts, I think. That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
I thought beasts specifically only referred to certain enemy types, but I think pretty much everything that isn't human counts as a beast.
Or everything that's not human are a machine
or something.
I don't know. Yeah, what did you say, Glib?
The monsters were beasts, but they're like people helping them, and they're like the Monada or something. I forget.
Oh, they have a specific like branding or something. All I know,
the bad ones, I guess they're called the Monada. Remember, the bad people.
No, nope. I don't remember.
In one of the towns, when you're talking.
Speaking of which, let's talk about the plot of this game. The thing we definitely all love and remember. So Glib, tell us the entire plot of this game, please.
Basically, you're a random guy, and you find the random girl, and she's a princess, and then you go to save the world. That's the story.
Yep.
Yeah, that's basically it. I think what bothers me about the story is that they have to give these characters motivations for joining the protagonist, because he doesn't have any traits as a protagonist. He has no like personality, and at the same time, most of the characters don't really have personality. So what do is that they just kind of shoehorn really ridiculous reasons, like the guy who joins you because you killed all of his friends. He's like, oh, you're strong, so I'll join you. The Amazon who's like, you're strong, so I'll join you. And then the girl who's the leader of resistance, I guess, and she joins you. But then I was like, what's going to happen with the resistance if she's with you? Then she's the leader. So I don't know. It's like all these weird little subplots when you think about the characters that just don't make any sense to me, and I didn't like it.
They're trying to like do variety. It's like it would be boring if every character was just a knight or someone you hired or whatever. Did you? I don't know. I heard everything you said, but I don't know if you mentioned Strauss, which is the funniest one.
That was Strauss is the thief he was talking about.
Yeah, you kill all of his thieves, and then he's like, "I'll join you because you killed everybody."
Not even that. He just goes. He doesn't. That's the best part. He doesn't even do that. He's like, so what do you guys want? And he's like, we got to save the world. He's like, great, I'm down for that. I used to just be ripping people off and murdering people, but now I want to save the world. That's how you do character development.
9 out of 10.
There's other ones too, like the way they connect some characters. There's like the one mage or whatever who's a rival of another mage. There's like all these like subplots that I don't really understand them because there's such minimal dialogue, and I don't think it's translated that well. So it's like hit or miss for me in terms of that. I tried to give it as much benefit of the doubt just because I wanted to be able to say that I still like this game, because when I first played it, I was saying it was pretty good, and now I'm like it's not quite SMT if, but it's pretty bad.
I like if better, actually.
Whoa. Oh my God. No, yeah. Chill.
Just because of Holy Ghost, probably.
I mean, that is a good point.
I mean, I actually, had to think about things, and if.
That's fair. You don't really have to think when you play this game, unless you're into Persona 5 and you've never played any other game before.
You do an all-luck build on every character. Actually, no, that still might not be enough.
The only time this game you have to think is when you have to put the protagonist into the next place to get to the next level. Otherwise, you can just throw your enemies at everyone, throw your people at everyone. I guess whatever.
The other, Neb brought up something that I guess is pretty like thought relevant and plot relevant. It's when you realize that the reason why your character has that move is because it's the move that you need to use to beat the boss, the final boss, who is literally another Bible.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny at the end. Because,
it was funny, yeah.
Because, oh no, another Bible is replaced and like another Bible's capitalized. And I was like, that's the name of the game. I get it.
This is horrible writing.
It's deep, thought-provoking, subversive.
Yeah.
It really
there's a lot going on. It's a lot of moving parts.
The thing that it reminded me of was the Dragon Quest OVA or whatever, the animated thing they put on Netflix not too long ago, where it like references Dragon Quest itself. Oh, sorry, spoilers if you like Dragon Quest, I guess. Which is like no one. So, but anyways, the way this game's final boss is like a reference, like references itself. It reminded me of that because it's bad, but it's also kind of like funny because of how bad it is. Does that make sense?
Not really. No.
This game's fairly relaxing. It's just kind of tedious, but I don't know. It's not bad, but it's a little too easy and slow.
Yeah.
I feel like nothing did matter in this game, to be honest. Like he could have done anything with this in the one still.
Yeah. There was basically no challenge to anything other than maybe I mentioned the double damage on beasts in the first like level or two. You can totally die to that if you aren't paying attention, but just put your pure units near the back at the beginning and you'll never ever die or lose.
That reminds me, I never died playing this run. I didn't die at all.
Wow.
I wasn't paying attention to my hero and died once. That was kind of sad.
Your what?
What does the game over screen look like?
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember.
Wait, I don't remember. I don't think there was one. I think just went to the title screen. I think.
Yeah, I think it just goes to load game. It might say something and then go there.
It just goes to load.
Okay. I was trying to see what other games DICE had made, but their company history page doesn't say anything. Their biggest thing they made for the Nintendo and Super Nintendo was bass fishing, and SimCity 64. And
I played that.
Oh no, is it good?
No, it's fine.
I think they helped make Smash Bros. Melee or something. Pokemon Stadium.
Well, they're just kind of like putting what they're not really saying like their entire list of games because it's just like a brief history. I guess they're just putting their highlights because this for 1995 they put Adventures of Lolo, which I don't even know what that game is.
Well, this company still exists?
Yeah.
What?
The thing is, no one there probably worked on this game currently, right? It's 25 years ago. Everyone's dead now that ever touched it.
Well, no, you're wrong. But at the same time, does it really matter? So I was trying to be more like optimistic and not cynical about this, but the more we talk about it, the more I'm like, this game sucks.
I don't think it sucks. It's just a little, not great.
I would say not good because my gold standard for a Game Boy game is probably, to think about it, was the original Wario Land. Was that a Game Boy?
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure.
Super Mario Land something or other.
I mean, Golden Coins, right? That one, Golden Coins.
No. It was the very first one. It was branded as part of the Super Mario Land franchise, but I don't remember which number it's supposed to be called.
You're talking about Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, that one?
There we go.
Yeah, that was a Game Boy one.
That's my favorite Game Boy game ever.
thought it was 2. What tripping?
No, you're wrong, stupid.
Excuse me.
You're the one that keeps saying heroin. It's heroin.
Oh my gosh. It does not matter. Dude.
This is a big point of contention. We're just going to split the podcast in 2.
It's because nobody can pronounce her actual name.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like in the Japanese one, the spelling looks like Pythia or something. Like,
her name is Kusha.
It's a really ugly name. Like that. That's one of the reoccurring themes in this game. Is a lot of characters have really bad names.
Well, that has to be partly a function of the character limit, right? Because there's a pretty strict limit of dialogue that could be on screen.
Maybe. But then, so you have like characters named like Ozone? What?
I don't remember that one, but that does sound bad.
The hero's name doesn't fit in the box either, but you can just take one of the S's out and it works.
What's his name?
Cassiel? The angel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is this supposed to mean something or no? Is this just like a reference?
I don't know.
I think they're just trying to say he's a good guy.
Probably. I looked it up. Ozone is the name of the character name is translated like 1 for 1. It's Ozone, and a lot of these other names are also 1 for 1. Like they just changed like the spelling. Like Spica, that annoying girl, is Spica, but it's spelled different. There's Freon is still Freon. Strass is still Strass.
Yeah, what is Freon? Isn't that something you use in like your fridge or something?
Yeah.
I hated her.
Yeah, she's the Resistance girl. I thought her story was one of the dumb ones. I was like,
yeah,
okay, like
wait, she's a Resistance.
She's also weak as hell. Yeah.
She was the one that was the priest. She was a Resistance. What?
Yeah, her mom is leading the Resistance, and her mom's like, "Okay, yeah, take my kid. See ya."
I missed all of that. Okay.
It's pretty early on, and she's really bad. She's just like an even worse main character woman, heroine.
Yeah, and then Ozone is like her rival, so that's why.
I don't know. I picked them. Okay, I must not have picked that person up.
She gets a heal, but it's only close range, so she's absolutely useless.
Yeah.
Who are you talking about? Ozone?
Freon.
Because Ozone's heal is supposed to be good, I guess. Or that's like her only function is healing. But it doesn't really matter. You meet her in front of the castle, by the way.
Huh?
In front of the castle? Oh, there's a secret in there?
Yeah. You don't know anything, Nev. I don't
do secrets. I don't fuse or recruit. I just play the game.
Well, I mean, a lot of the game doesn't explain itself, so it's hard to kind of suss out what to do. Like, I didn't even know about the fusion thing until I found it, and then I just randomly did it. It's not easy to understand. I don't even know how it works.
They tell you early on that the heroine can recruit monsters early on, but the thing is, she doesn't get it until level 2, and she's probably not level 2 by the time you're in the first town.
Yeah.
So you kind of can miss that if she doesn't level up in time.
Yeah, so I think the way it's even phrased in that dialogue thing is they say she can talk to animals, and that's like the important part. And so I was trying to use the talk function at first, because there's a talk function, which doesn't all do anything really. You can use it to talk to characters to get a little more information, and sometimes unlock secret characters, but it's not for recruiting monsters, it turns out.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do at the beginning too. I was like, why isn't this working?
Yep. But the way that you can get her, by the way, or the way that you can have her ready is if you use the protagonist to do the hidden map where the treasure is on the first map. You just have her kill everything, and then she'll be like level 2, or I think I had her at level 3.
I just bought a Joy-Con in the first town. I sold everything and put it on her, and then she had it by the first area. She killed all the unicorns.
Yeah, Joy-Coins are another broken part of the game that I think, like, I don't know.
What do they do? I didn't buy one. They're too expensive.
Well, you'll never find out.
Oh, okay.
You didn't use Joy-Coins? They're like the thing that makes the game bearable.
They give you 5 EXP per turn.
That's nice. That sounds broken though.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why my people were all like level 25 halfway through and killing everything in one hit.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely because they didn't know that people would emulate this game in the future. But it's not the best mechanic, or maybe it's just to speed through the game. That's why when I was looking
They
at,
let you buy unlimited Joy-Cons in the one shop, like less than halfway through. Like a third of the way through, I think. One of the shops has unlimited Joy-Cons.
I only had enough to buy 3 at that point.
I only bought like 2. One for the protagonist, and then one for Alta because I like
bought
Alta.
like 15 because I didn't spend gold on anything ever.
I put mine on Wyvern and Loki, the heroine, and someone else I forgot.
See, I didn't know you can put them on beasts.
Yeah, I think I equipped skates on my one robot to make him move faster, which is a funny idea.
What? You can put that?
Yeah, pretty sure you can give them items because I gave Joy-Con to my other robot.
I wish I knew that. That's what
I stopped using them though because they were too low level. Because everyone else is like level 50 at the end.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought the item function was broken because I bought some potions and stuff and tried to put it on people's menus, but then nothing showed up, so I just stopped using it. And it was in their menu.
You have to take an entire turn to use items. It's a total waste.
Yeah.
Just buy Joy-Cons.
Action. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like you use a potion, it heals for like 20 health or something. It's like, why would you do that when you can just go kill someone and level up and get full health? Doesn't make any sense.
I feel like we should come up with like a rating system so we can have everything that we've played so far rated, so that's easier to like see, I guess, in the description. So let's do that retroactively.
We'll think about it later.
But we could at least do If and Jack Bros and Synchronicity Prologue, because that way we can do that, and then whenever we do the next podcast, we'll bring up another Bible's rating, and then we'll have it going forward. I feel like it'll be nice to have a scale so people can know we think this is really terrible, but we think this is like what's better, you know?
Sure.
I feel we should have those games, though they're pretty different.
Well, I think what we should do is like just order them, put them in a list, don't assign them an actual number.
Yeah, like
what did you enjoy most? I enjoyed Synchronicity the most, so I'd put that at the top, and then I'd put 70 empty spaces, and then put If at the very bottom.
Maybe break them up into gameplay, music, and all that categories, and see how that works.
Sure. Yeah, people can rate them however you want.
Yeah. Okay. So then I guess that'll be something that we'll talk about offline, and we'll bring it up next podcast. Yeah. I guess.
As comparatively speaking, I definitely had a worse time with If than this, because even though this was slow and bad, like none of it was on purpose. If you know what I mean. Like Dungeon of Sloth, I hated so much, and it was intentionally designed that way.
It was even worse before too, which is I'll never.
Yeah, it exponentially makes it worse because someone signed off on this as like perfect. We want to make people wait an entire fucking moon cycle to dig one layer deeper into the meta. Whereas this is like, they're like, oh, let's make it a strategy RPG, limited movement and stuff, but then also design big maps. And they weren't like, oh, we're gonna do that because we have slow movement. It wasn't strictly intentional.
I kind of hate Envy more than Sloth, to be honest, because like if you had no like guide, how are you going to beat that? You can't see. There's no comp. Like what are you doing here? Teleport around.
I made maps for that one. I would take a screenshot of the current map I had and draw like where I am and what I
you can't see the map though. There's no comp. Oh, you have a thing. Never mind. The map thing or whatever.
Yeah. I knew what I was doing.
Game still sucks though. Whatever.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Speaking of sucks, Animal Crossing is out.
That game is amazing.
Has nothing to do with another Bible.
No, I was thinking bad games, and then like Animal Crossing, another. So
that game is epic. Please go buy it in stores right now. Nintendo, give me a check. Thank you.
You think Nintendo will pay you? They don't pay their employees. There weren't there so many people. Weren't they all in the the Panama Papers?
Were they? I don't know.
Oh, we're sweet. Yeah, that's where our Switch money's going, you idiots.
Yeah. You know, Switch.
Were they really in the Panama Papers?
No, I don't know. I was just saying that.
Oh.
I wish. The one thing I learned today is that the Switch only runs at 720 when it's docked, right? And it's so bad. Imagine having a console in 2020 that runs on 720. You get
720. I thought Smash at least 1080.
No, it's 1280 by 720. That's low.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so when people get mad at my videos for being low resolution, just know that my videos run at a high resolution than Switch games. So
why do you hate Nintendo so much, Larrue? What is the deal?
This is where you're choosing to air this.
I'm just gonna say that I own like so many Nintendo games, and I could probably say that the only ones that I really like are like that are from Nintendo are from the old age, like the Game Boy, like with the Wario games. Or
Boomer.
No, shut up. We're not okay. Well, actually, let's not talk about why I hate Nintendo right now. Just know that I do, but I also hate Sony too. So
the list is growing.
It is growing. Sony, they announced that when they announced the whole backwards compatibility thing and how it's only going to have some PS4 games, and they had to release that addendum saying, "Oh yeah, actually we're going to have most PS4 games." I'm like, what about PS2?
They said no PS2. They said only PS4.
Yeah, I know. That's dumb. Imagine not building
crazy.
your console with like not only just forward thinking, but also making sure that you have your legacy with you at all times. It's super dumb, and you know way to re-release them. Like, ugh.
I hope they at least do more classic games because there's like none on PS4. Well, there is some, but it's not a lot, and no good ones either.
Here comes the PS2 Mini.
I would buy it if it had good games, not like the PS1 Mini. Like, I still haven't even learned how to hack my PS1 Mini yet.
How cheap are those now? I might buy one for real.
I think I got mine for $30, but it was when
That's too much.
Yeah, $30 is a lot for something that's useless, but it's still better than Switch.
I saw in Japan they have the PC Mini now.
Really? What does the
Yeah.
PC Mini have?
I have no idea. I just saw it when I was looking through Famitsu. I didn't actually read the article.
That's a Raspberry Pi rebranded. What is that?
No,
I don't know. It
PC
sounds pretty
Engine.
pointless though.
Oh, it really does exist.
What's on it? Let's know.
So, well, let's see. I'm not seeing a list of games. It's just saying that it exists. It has Sunsoft games. I don't really understand. Sorry, I don't really get it. It's not saying what's on it though. It's just saying that it exists.
Why do that,
That means no games.
Everything anyway.
Yeah. Instead, just buy a Nintendo Switch and play Animal Crossing. Instead of playing the game, you can design your character to look like a character from a good game. Which I noticed that's like a weird trend. People just make their characters look like Megaten characters so they can be like, "Oh, look, I'm playing a real game."
Yeah, there was a Demi-Fiend I think I saw.
There's a lot of Demi-Fiends.
Yeah.
I think the best ones I saw were the Persona 2 ones.
That little Isabeau one is pretty good too.
Oh yeah, the little monkey. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, and I saw a Hallelujah too. That was really good.
Oh, I didn't see the Hallelujah yet.
Deep Cut. No one ever references him.
I can post if you want me to. It looks nice.
All right. Wait, post in Glib. Post your character on the group chat so I can use it for the thumbnail for this video.
I need a better picture then if you want it for thumbnail.
Well, I don't know. I guess my last thoughts, because we deviate a lot. My last thoughts for another Bible is that comparatively, it in some ways it was worse than If, but most of the ways that it was worse were in ways that I think are not good. Like they're not excusable. Like even though If had no story, I would say that If story was still better than another Bible story, which is kind of crazy to me.
I know. I don't know about that.
Yes.
No. The only story you get in If is you talk to like 3 NPCs, and then the main bad guy shows up as a statue to tell you why he's punishing people or whatever. And then the entire story is explained at the very end. You have to wait until the very final fight before they're like, here's the reason why I'm doing all of this and why this happened.
Okay.
And there was not even a sense of mystery about that. You're like, okay, cool. Great.
Well, I mean, compared to another Bible, which is literally we have to stop.
Which is masterful.
Oh. Another Bible is like the beginning of someone pitching an idea of what to do for an RPG, but then not actually saying the full like plan. They're literally like, we should make a game where you stop the bad guy, and they're like, okay, let's get started. Like, what?
Is that heart supposed to be P?
It's rave. It's the
no, it's rave. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to make up a thumbnail. I don't know.
Your character looks ugly. Is that how you look?
Wow. So we're doing now? This the wave?
Alrighty now.
All right. Anything else on another Bible? Anyone? It was not great. It was a chore to play, but it's still better than If, in my opinion.
Yeah. The art's not great. It's too easy. The story is abysmal and basically non-existent. Yeah. But it's not a bad experience. It's kind of relaxing, I guess. You don't really have to challenge yourself with it. You can just sit back and play through.
Like Animal Crossing. So this is
actually it kind of does feel like that. Except without all the creativity.
Crazy.
But I can get that. That's a pretty nice way of saying that the game is like, just okay.
Should I go now? It's my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Rave.
I kind of liked If more than this, just because I like first person dungeon crawling. So that's my take on that. And this game was really easy. You just throw your enemies at everyone, and it was just like they died in one hit. Really, to be honest, this game sucks. But you know what Atlus said: break free, another Bible. I can't wait for this port and Switch. Let's do it, bro.
Finally. Atlus, Fate, please port this to Switch. We have to have this in Persona 2. The games everyone plays. Everyone's played them and loves them.
This is the greatest moment in JRPG history.
In this moment, I am euphoric. I've played Persona 2.
So, I mean, I guess that's it for today's podcast, right? Unless you guys have anything else.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That was like final notes. Anyone?
I want to go play Animal Crossing now. Let's do it.
Okay. Find your baby game. All right. Thanks, everyone. It's been fun.
Gotta run. Bye.
See ya.
It wasn't fun playing this game. Don't lie.
Shut up.